Thanks for that, Brother Andrew. Brothers and sisters, welcome friends. This is the concluding seventh reason to believe the Bible. Now, the words that I'm going to present to you are not mine. The slides that you'll see are not mine. They've both been presented by Brother Joel. And I'll do my best to convey his research, his thoughts, and his message to you. So this afternoon we'll break our topic down into the following sections. We will provide a definition of what morality is. We'll look at the decline of morality in our modern society. We'll look at what the Bible says on this topic, but we'll focus on two things: the Ten Commandments and the Beatitudes, or the words that our brother chairman has just conveyed to us from Matthew 5. And finally, we'll look at the Bible's influences on our society today. So, what is morality? Basically, it's the understanding of what's right and wrong, and it's a key part of every human society. It guides behaviour, it sets social rules, and forms the basis of justice and law, basically tells us how we should treat each other. Now, many cultures have developed their own moral systems, but one of the oldest and the most influential sources is found in the Holy Scriptures, the Bible. Because for millions around the world, the Bible offers great spiritual guidance, and it gives us a moral code which has stood the test of time. Morality fundamentally seeks to answer how humans should live, interact, and relate to one another. It seeks to direct individual behaviour in ways that contribute to the well-being of society. However, many argue that our modern society has experienced a great moral decline and moving away from universally accepted standards of right and wrong. And so let's look at the decline of morality in modern society. Many people today are concerned about this decline, and rightly so. They link it to things like the rise of secularism, which is the separation of religion from public life. They point out facts about the changes in culture and a focus on individual freedom over community responsibility. And so for the next few minutes, we'll have a bit of a look at some of the areas that we've just touched on in a bit more detail. The rise of secularism. Secularism means religion has less influence on society. In the past, religious institutions really shaped the norms, the moral norms, but today, many people look to humanism. They look to science, or they look to personal experience instead of looking at what the Bible teaches. So without a single higher authority, the idea of right and wrong can just become something which is just subjective, means it's based on personal opinion rather than a shared standard. There's also a focus on individualism. Modern culture often celebrates self-expression, celebrates personal freedom. And while we consider that personal rights are important, too much focus on individual desires can lead to a neglecting of the things which are really important, which is the needs of others. And so this shift can be observed by various cultural trends, such as the normalisation of dishonesty in the media, the glorification of greed in popular culture, and also the breakdown of the traditional family unit. This emphasis on self-fulfillment, often at the expense of others, contributes to a decline in virtues like the things that we just read about in Matthew: humility, patience, self-sacrifice. These are the traits which are essential for a healthy and a stable society. The next area that we'd like to look at is the decline of traditional family values. The family unit has traditionally been the foundation of moral education. Parents, grandparents, and extended family members have played a vital role, a key role in instilling values and ethics and principles in the next generation coming through. However, with the rise of alternate family structures and the erosion of marriage and the decline in the importance of the guidance of mum and dad, many argue that the traditional family values are indeed diminishing. This lack of stable family environment can contribute to a sense of moral uncertainty, where children are left really not knowing the clear examples of the difference between right and wrong. The next area that we'd like to look at is called moral relativism. Moral relativism is the idea that what is right or true can change from person to person. The perspective means that there are no absolute moral standards which can blur the lines between what is right and what is wrong. The rejection of absolute moral standards can result in a culture where anything goes, provided it aligns with one's personal beliefs and desires, has significant implications like justice, human rights, social responsibility, and the line becomes really blurred between right and wrong. Next area that we'd like to bring to your attention is the impact of media and technology. They play a significant role in shaping moral values in our society today. Social media, TV, movies, digital platforms, they all glorify things, materialism, instant gratification, self-indulgence, and they send a message that success and happiness can be defined by wealth and power and fame. And this can distort our understanding of morality and emphasise superficial things over deeper, important things like compassion and integrity and kindness. So the rise of digital technology has introduced moral challenges such as cyberbullying, online harassment, and the spread of misinformation. And the anonymity or the anonymousness of the internet can encourage individuals to behave in unethical behaviour without really having to face up to the consequence of their actions. So all this is the background, and now what does the Bible have to tell us on this topic? The Bible's moral guidance. The Bible is seen by Christians and Jews as the ultimate source of moral guidance. It teaches ethical living through principles that apply to every aspect of life: relationships with God, relationships with family, community, and the wider world. Biblical morality is seen as universal and timeless, grounded in God's unchanging nature. And so, friends, this afternoon we'll focus in on two key parts of Bible morality: the Ten Commandments and the Beatitudes. These should guide us clearly on how to live a good and an honourable life, offering ethical principles that are still very relevant today. The Ten Commandments are indeed God's moral law, found in Exodus 20, first 17 verses. They serve as a moral code that outlines humanity's obligations toward God and the fellow humans that we interact with. The Ten Commandments teach morality by providing clear guides on how we should act towards God and how we should act towards others. They set out basic principles for good living that focus on respect and honesty and justice and being personally responsible for our actions. Here's a breakdown of how each commandment contributes to moral teaching. Number 1, you should have no other gods before me. That is, let's give God the respect and the loyalty that he deserves. This commandment emphasises loyalty and devotion to one God and teaches the importance of putting spiritual and moral values as number one priority. It encourages people not to get distracted by things like money and power and fame. Commandment number 2, you should not make for yourself a carved image. It's telling us in our modern day that we need to avoid idolatry and stay true to our values. It teaches the importance of not worshipping physical objects or false ideals, promoting a focus on true values rather than on material things. This commandment is all about staying true to what really matters. Commandment number 3, you should not take the name of our Lord your God in vain. It's all about treating God's name with respect. This command, relevant today, encourages respect for God's name and teaches the importance of speaking with reverence and speaking with sincerity. It promotes honesty and discourages taking things lightly that should be treated with very serious nature. Command number 4, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. It reminds us that we should set time aside for rest and reflect on spiritual things. Promotes a balanced life and encourages people not to be consumed by work and to prioritise relationships with others and our personal well-being. Number 5, honour your father and your mother is really all about honouring and respecting those in family and authority. It emphasises respecting mum and dad and other authority figures. This commandment teaches the importance of valuing family and learning from the wisdom of older generations, encouraging a sense of responsibility and duty within the family unit. Number 6, you shall not murder. It really is a value and respect of all human life. The commandment upholds the value of life, making it clear that to wrong, to harm or take another person's life. It emphasises the importance of respecting the dignity of every human being. Number 7, you should not commit adultery. He's talking about the loyalty and faithfulness of marriage and relationships. It promotes faithfulness and commitment in relationships, particularly in marriage. It teaches that loyalty and trust and integrity are the key to healthy relationships and communities. Number 8, you should not steal, reminds us to be honest and respect other people's property. Discourages theft and promotes fairness, encouraging people to be honest and fair with their dealings with one another. Commandment number 9, you should not bear false witness against your neighbour. We should speak truthfully to one another. Truth-telling and not spreading false accusations. The commandment teaches the value of honesty and fairness, protecting others' reputations, encouraging justice in our dealings with one another. And finally, you shall not covet. Be content and avoid envy. Don't be jealous of what others have. It encourages gratitude for what each of us has, teaching that true happiness doesn't come from wanting what other people have, but we should be grateful for what God has given us. The first 4 commandments focus on a person's relationship with God, encouraging loyalty, respect, and a balance of spiritual things. They teach that morality begins with a proper attitude toward God and sets a strong foundation of values. The last 6 commandments focus on relationships with other people. They highlight the importance of respecting family, life, relationships, property, truth, and a personal commitment. Together, the 10 Commandments create a basic moral framework for society, teaching principles like honesty, justice, respect, loyalty, and the importance of valuing human life. We've just read a section of Matthew chapter 5. From verses 3 to 12 hold a very important thing. Because in addition to those commands that we've gone through, the Beatitudes found in Matthew teach morality by providing a set of virtues and emphasise things like kindness and humility, compassion and justice. The highest qualities that are important for a good and ethical life focus on the heart, and they focus on the character rather than just outward actions. Here's how each of the Beatitudes contribute to moral teaching. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. This teaches humility and acknowledges that we need help beyond ourselves. It promotes the idea that relying on God is better than being arrogant or self-centred. Humility is seen as the foundation for other moral values. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. This section of the Beatitude teaches compassion for those who are suffering. It encourages feeling empathy and being moved towards injustice or wrongdoing, leading to moral action to support and comfort others. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. This is all to do with gentleness and kindness. It's all to do with self-control too. And being kind rather than being aggressive or seeking power. Moral behaviour includes treating others patiently and respectfully, even when it's difficult to do so. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. This is all about seeking justice and moral integrity. It encourages a strong desire to do what's right and what's fair. It emphasises to be just and to be honest, highlights the importance of standing up for what's good and what's ethical. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. It involves forgiving others, showing kindness, even sometimes when it's not deserved. It teaches that morality includes being compassionate, not holding grudges, understanding, we all make mistakes. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Encourages to be sincere, to be honest, and to have good intentions. Moral behaviour is all about having a clean heart, free from deceit, free from selfishness or hidden agendas. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. This teaches the importance of seeking peace, resolving conflicts, because moral behaviour includes being a peacemaker and being able to work out and solve things which may be problems peacefully, bringing people together rather than causing division. Final one. Blessed are they who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. It encourages us to stand up for what's right and wrong, even if it means facing hardship or opposition. Morality isn't always easy, and this beatitude encourages perseverance, staying true to good values even when it's challenging. The Beatitudes teach that morality goes far beyond just following rules. It's about having the right mindset, having the right attitude, and doing it with the right intention. They focus on internal character such as humility, mercy, purity, justice. And these things lead to us being morally active. They emphasise the importance of love and compassion, putting others first before oneself, key principles for building a just and a kind society. The Beatitudes encourage people to be gentle, honest, peaceful, all the qualities that lead to a healthy moral community. They highlight the idea that true morality is about what's in the heart and how we treat others, not just about how we look or how we follow strict rules. And so what's the Bible morality's impact on society? In Western nations, we can see the Bible's influence on many aspects of society. Everything from laws to work ethic to the view of marriage has been moulded by a Judeo-Christian worldview. It's always been the case that the Bible makes a difference in cultures where the Bible has been introduced. God is the creator of the world. From the very beginning, God designed the world and people to function a certain way. When society doesn't follow the principles that God has given, life just doesn't work out that well. God's the only one with the insight on how life functions to the best benefit, and he shares that wisdom with us in the Bible. The Bible is described in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12, as alive and active. This means in part that the Bible is as applicable and relevant today as it was written 2,000 years ago. Looking back at the early stages of Western culture, it's impossible not to see the influence that the Bible has had. Our government structure, the laws, morality, education, family values are all founded on principles that came directly from the Bible. The founding fathers, the presidents, the rulers identified the key to the nation's success founded on Bible influence as it was embraced in their society. When a nation honours God, it develops a respect for all God's creation. Where there is no honour of God, the society will fail to respect creation and people, in a result, will suffer. From the beginning, people had a choice whether to follow God's way or not. But choices always carry consequences. The Old Testament history of Israel documents the laws of society and the precepts God gave them. When Israel followed God's law and lived by them, their society functioned well. But when they strayed and deviated from God's law, society went downhill. Attempts today to remove the Bible's influence from society or to marginalise Bible worldview reveal the pride of mankind when he sees mankind says, we know better. We know better than the one who created us. Friends, the Bible provides guidance on how to live ethically and justly and compassionately in a very otherwise complex world. While challenges exist, Bible morality continues to offer a path to life, grounded in love, established in justice, and builds a strong relationship with the Creator. For those who embrace it, Bible morality is more than just a set of ethical principles. It's a way of life that seeks to honour God, respect others, and pursue what is good and true. Brother Joel.